So let's talk about the Senate race in Massachusetts. We had two lions in the Senate for a long time in Massachusetts, John Kerry and Senator Kennedy. And first we had Senator Kennedy unfortunately pass away, and we had our first giant special election in Massachusetts, where we had Martha Coakley, who was weaker as a Democratic candidate than a lot of people would like, running against Scott Brown. And at first, everyone thought, hey, it's Massachusetts, Democrats can always win no matter what. It's friggin' Massachusetts, of course we're gonna win. And so didn't take the campaign very seriously, and guess what? We lost. But luckily, when Scott Brown was up for re-election this time, we had a much more serious challenger, a much more serious campaign, and we got Elizabeth Warren! But no sooner did we get her than Senator Kerry now went on to become Secretary of State. Yay. So we have another special election in Massachusetts coming up right now. And you could ask, well, why should we care about an internal election in another state? Because this is going on to the U.S. Senate, where we've got one very progressive, in the primary, we've got one very progressive Democrat and one guy who's anti-choice, anti-healthcare, anti-gun control, and not as friendly on the environment. So these are going to have big impacts on the national issues, and we're in a state like Massachusetts, which is very liberal, and we don't have to worry about, oh, if we choose the candidate we like in the primary, they can't get elected in the general. That's not going to happen in Massachusetts. If we run a smart campaign, they can elect as progressive as somebody who we want. So that's why we are working tomorrow for Congressman Markey, who has been an awesome progressive champion for a whole bunch of years. You may, if you probably have an association with his name, it's because he was one of the authors of the original cap and trade legislation in the House to rein in global warming. Some other contrast with his opponent. He voted for the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. His opponent voted against it. Democrats voted against it. Democrats from Massachusetts voted against it. Markey fully supports choice, women's right to choose. He has a 100% rating from NARAL and from NOW. His opponent, Lynch, voted for the Fifth Amendment in healthcare before voting against healthcare, which would have limited contraception and access to abortion, even if it had passed. And this month, Markey introduced a legislation to end the ban on federal funding for gun violence research, while his opponent, back when he was a state senator, voted against an assault weapons ban for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So this isn't, a case where you just have two very similar people running in the primary. Oh, it comes down to personality differences. No, we've got huge ideological differences between these guys that are going to make massive differences. And not only that, but we can be really proud to support Congressman Markey. He's been a national leader on climate change in general and the environment. As I mentioned, he co-authored the cap and trade legislation. And he also led on increasing fuel economy standards, which will mean more miles per gallon for all cars, save oil, save people money at the pump, all good stuff. And he's also, another issue we like here, a big champion of net neutrality. Oh, cool. Yeah. Another great thing. And he's just been a reliable, progressive champion for decades, as opposed to Congressman Lynch, who kind of sucks. So that's why you should all come tomorrow to our phone bank for Congressman Murphy, for Congressman Markey. The primary election date is April 30th, so it's coming up very soon. And ours is, we're going to do two phone banks, but our first one is tomorrow, and then we're doing another one right before the election. And it's from 5:30 to 7:30 in what room?
477.
477 in Lerner. Yes.
It's past the package center.
Okay, so we'll see you all there tomorrow to work on this great race.
Woo!